And we're live. Greetings to everyone on the internet. I am the Honorable Lord Ulrich Eisenhand, and welcome to the September decision meeting for the Meridier's Internal Letter of Intent. I have with me several other heralds as commenters on this month's letter, and see here, I'm gonna start on my left and work my way across my list here. So we're gonna start with Master Alexander.
Hello, I'm Stentor Herald Extraordinary, which means that I get to say weird things because I'm not actually a name or device herald.
All right, moving along to Kurt.
Hello here, Kurt Bogner, Cypher Pursuant. I'm the mission's deputy for Meridians.
Moving along to Lucien.
Hello, I'm the Honorable Lord Lucien d'Artois. I'm the Lambent Herald for Meridiers, responsible for commentary.
Mistress Bronwyn.
Hi, I'm Mistress Bronwyn Ogedwele. I am the White Antelope Herald Extraordinary. I have no current office. I just get on and run my mouth about heraldry.
Mistress Flaunet.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Beacon Principal Harold Flaunet. Welcome, and just a quick note, this is my last meeting as I step down from this office October 13th at coronation. So this is going to be my last letter to sit in on and everything, and I want to thank everybody real quick for all their hard work over these past 2 years. I could not have asked for a better staff and a better group of people to work with. It has been a team effort.
I like this. I like this list.
Thank you. And next on our list.
Next on our list is Finna.
Hi, I'm Lord Finna, Moss daughter, Finna for short, and I am the baronial herald for the barony of Gladenfeld, located in Nashville, Tennessee.
And our latecomer, I think, is that Christian?
Yes.
Yes, yes, it is.
To the interwebs.
I have stuff on this letter. Christian Gwynn, I am the herald for the Shire of Woodcastle.
Yay!
All right, so we have a fairly short letter this month, so let's go ahead and dive right in. Item number 1, Agnes Halliday, new device. Ghouls, 7 plates in annulo, a bordure quarterly or and azure. I have to agree with Bronwyn and Michael Girard that there is not a difference for more than, I think it's more than 4. Once you get more than 4, it's just many. So yes. 7 and semi do butt heads with each other, but by removing the tertiary charge from the potential conflict and adding a border, removing the pellets and adding a border, we get our 2 DCs.
Correct. The only problem is that the plates are just...
Yeah, the plates are tiny.
They're too tiny, but the redraw addresses that.
Yeah, the redraw does address that, and Taryn says that the client has seen it and has approved it.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Yeah, because the pellets were the plates were too small and the border was too thin, but both of those got fixed. So
yeah, both of those have been fixed in the redraw. Did you find any more conflicts?
No, the one that Bronwyn found was the closest one that I noted.
All right, so since we have permission to use the redraw, we will swap out the original for the redraw, or the redraw for the original, and send it up.
Good news.
And we have someone else who has just joined us.
Yes, that's
Hello,
right.
Woo.
We have a woo.
Please
Hello, everybody.
introduce yourself to the internet.
I'm sorry?
Please introduce yourself.
Please introduce myself to the internet. Hi, everybody. I'm Woo.
And come this time next month, Woo will be Big Boss Woman.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
God help us. I mean,
Frightening,
that's awesome.
frightening.
Lucy Lucian's not wrong.
Y'all will be fine.
You're not wrong.
I want everybody to take note of that. I am not wrong.
Well, maybe right now.
This time.
But
This
anyway,
time.
at this time.
I'll put that on the checklist, Lucian.
Okay. Right, moving along to number 2. Daria de Romani, new name and device. Let's start with the name. No major changes. Italian most important. Culture gypsy around 15th century. Meaning Daria of the gypsies most important.
Not gonna fly. It is literally not going to fly. It's going to get bounced for offensiveness.
You
Well,
think-
she's not using of the gypsy, though.
Doesn't matter. It's what she's registering in it will be bounced for.
What she's using as the meaning and everything. Okay.
Well, now they've got Maradona found Daria, which I did not find in the original documentation. But Frida suggested that the binding actually meant of the Romans. In any case.
Further down in the commentary, Michael Gerard had a name that was passed that said that was Richard the Roma.
Uh-huh.
And suggested using that that particular way phrasing. Yes.
Here, although we have registered forms of the gypsy in the past, the term gypsy is considered to be derogatory and a slur by the Roma themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Roma or Romani are subject to real-world discrimination and systematic abuse, particularly in Europe. Therefore, gypsy and related terms like the Russian Tzigane, Romanian Tigani, and German Zigeuner are offensive and not registered.
So is Roma is under the same...
General ethnic bynames of similar derivation, but that don't share the same negative connotation, like Tsigan, a common Hungarian surname not considered to be offensive, will be considered on a case-by-case basis. Note that the lingua anglica form gypsy or the gypsy would not be permitted, even if it is a literal translation of an acceptable ethnic byname like Tsigan. The intent is not to ban the ability to recreate Romani culture, just the use of terms that the Roma themselves consider to be offensive.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The submitter, Richard the Roma, the submitter allowed a change to Richard of the Romani with a Y, but the construction of the X, where X is the ethnic term, was not documented. Instead, we have changed the name to Richard the Roma. The Anglican form Roma is the term preferred by the Council of Europe.
So if this client were willing to go with the Roma.
Well, Romani and Roma are both the same group of people. It is
Right.
Frida has a point. Based on her comment about it being of the Romans.
Uh-huh.
that is, yeah, because it is a Latin construction.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't want to be a Roman.
Nope.
The only way to fix it and have it go through is going to be to make her Roma.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So you have, and that's too big a change. You're going to have her permission.
If she doesn't, she allows no major changes, so that is
Nope.
too big a job.
The thing is, I don't know as if that particular judgment is above my pay grade or not, whether I can return it for potential offensiveness.
In this case, it's better for you to bounce it and have
Yes.
them enforce that. You see, Flonet's agreeing with me. It's
Yes.
better to bounce it
Yeah.
and force them to go to Laurel over you.
Okay.
Yeah, because if we bounce it here, then they don't have to wait 9 months for Laurel to bounce it. They can fix it and send it back up next month or the month after, and not
This
have to
isn't,
wait.
yeah, this isn't one of those if in doubt.
Okay.
Because she put no major changes. So it's got to go back to her and the Herald
Okay.
that assisted.
Okay.
So,
So the device is going to go with it.
unfortunately, we're going to have to return the name, but let's go ahead and talk about the device quick.
Right, just in case.
So that we can let them know whether or
Right.
not it clears.
Correct.
Whether or not it's good.
Agreed.
So the device is Purpure Ermine, 3 Rear Mice Argent.
I'm checking something on the form.
Yeah, I did not find any conflicts with it.
I'm not seeing any conflicts.
Yeah, the closest one was the Clea de Hunadwara, and there's at least one SC.
Right.
There's a couple of DCs, so
Well, I mean, we get
not even close.
we get a DC for removing the field treatment. We get a DC for adding a border.
And you get an SC for a change of arrangement of the primary charge group.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Ian, I can't see your forms because it's in the garden. Does she allow a holding name?
Let me check that.
Well, we can't
send it up with a.
We can't make it a holding name in Kingdom.
Laurel would have to do that.
Yeah,
It's an academic question on my part. I just want to know. I just want to see what the form says.
Let me check that for you right quick.
She is perfectly happy with anything as long as it means Daria of the Gypsy. That's as far as she got us with me.
Ah, okay. You don't have the Herald
here. Yay.
assisting.
Well, in that case, if she changes, no major changes to, as long as it means this, then we could change it.
An email from Alan with an attestation will do it.
Yes.
Problem.
Yeah.
You'll have it shortly.
And then she could be Daria the Romani.
The translation that we provided was just
for Daria the Roma.
Italian translator.
Okay. Yay!
Mm-hmm. Because it's a pretty piece of armory.
Yeah. It does look like it's a valid surname as long as it doesn't fall into offensiveness. Arianwi's article does list it.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
And if it gets to that point, I can ping her because she's a friend of mine and see if that is actually of the Romans.
Well, if she's willing, if her thing is to be Romani, and the only way for us to register, even send it up the chain, etc., is to use Roma so that it's not anything else isn't offensive, then that would be the accepted, as long as she's all right with that.
Yeah.
So what we can do if she approves it is send it up as Daria de Roma or Daria de Roma, and say that the submitter prefers the form Daria de Romani if it's allowable.
Okay.
She would be fine with it. Like I say, all she was after was Daria of the Gypsies, preferably in Italian.
Well, that if I'm reading this LOAR entry correctly, you can't use gypsy, period. The word gypsy cannot be used.
Yeah, right.
Not in her name, but would it be a problem to include that that's what she's aiming for?
Right. That's what she's after, is to say that is a member of the Romani. How we say it is not nearly as important as meaning.
It's an indication of her affiliation with the Roma.
Bingo.
So if we can find a term or a way of putting that is deemed unoffensive.
Like Daria the Roma.
Yeah, I would say.
Or de Roma.
Or de Roma, yeah.
Right.
I know next to zero about Italian, so.
If she approves, we can send it up with the lingua anglica, Daria the Roma, and say that she prefers it in Italian, and we just weren't sure what the proper Italian.
That sounds like it. That sounds doable.
That's better.
Yeah.
All right. So if you can get me the submitter giving permission to make that change, then we can send it up.
No problem.
Okay.
Okay. Good to go.
All right. And since the device is clear, once we get that, we can send the device up too.
Okay.
All right. Moving along to number 3. Eilina Rothbjartsdottir. New name and new device. Let's start off with the name.
All 3 elements are documented from Giribasi, and no conflicts were found by me.
Gunvor says that it also says that it's properly constructed.
Yes.
Excellent.
Actually, sorry, I didn't catch who said that.
No, excellent.
Oh, sorry. I thought someone said actually.
No.
I was like, I'm waiting for the input.
Actually, what?
It's been a long week.
I looked it up. I didn't find any conflicts either.
All right.
Well, I think that's clear as can be on the name.
So name's good. Moving on to the device. Vert, 3 bears passant in annulo argent. Agree with Serafina that there is a step from period practice for the use of charges in annulo that are not in their default posture.
True, but I was unable to find any conflicts.
Okay.
Did anyone else find anything?
No. But, I mean, this is such a simple device unless you find something with 3 white bears and annulo. It's not going to conflict because you got a SC for changing the arrangement of the primary charge group in any other case.
Pretty much.
And there weren't any that were even remotely close when I looked.
No.
So I think we're good to send this one up.
The closest one is that I've found is Vert, 3 bears stationed within a border indented argent. So we get 1 for orientation and 1 for the border.
Orientation is an SC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SC for orientation and a DC for the adding the border. So yeah.
Yeah. So we're well clear.
I think we're golden.
Okay.
So device is moving up with a note for the step from period practice.
Okay.
Moving along to number 4, Geneviève d'Anjou, new device. Argent, a fleur de lis pure and a thistle proper between planches pure.
Now, somebody pointed out that a thistle could be flowered either pure or gold. So do we want to specify that it is a thistle proper flowered pure, or?
If that's proper, that would be the preferred blazon.
I think that proper is flowered or pure and flipped and leave bird.
Okay.
According to Ms. Tome, proper can be either. The usual SCA default is green with purple, but not always. We've been weird that way.
Well, it would not hurt to specify, and then if
Yeah.
Reef wants to
If Reef
change
wants to
it,
change it, Reef can change it when they
Correct.
register the.
More concerned with the appearance than the wordage.
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
All right. So did you find any conflicts with this?
There
No.
is actually a submission out there where they were trying to change the blazon on something from another kingdom because they don't like the blazon, but they don't want to change the image.
Okay.
I'll find it. I'll find it and post it because I was commenting on it.
On the line drawing, it looks like the shield shape
Yeah, I
is
was
not.
about to comment on that. That it doesn't conform to the shield shape.
Well, that's a minor redraw.
Yeah, I might want to fix that before you send it up because we don't want it to get bounced for something
I
stupid.
I can fix that in GIMP in about 30 seconds with the eraser tool.
Yep.
Okay.
Why it came up like that because it was done from the standard one.
Huh.
Something hiccuped in the translation.
Mhm. Anyway, it can be fixed.
Yeah, it's easy to fix. Just erase that extra line, and because it's not an issue on the color emblazoned because the whole thing is colored in, so
It's just
Yeah, they
black
call it
and
color
white.
out, so-
doesn't really notice it.
All right, so device is good. We'll fiddle with the blazon to make sure that the color of the
Blazon.
pistol is clear, and we'll send it up.
Okay.
Moving on to number 5. Eric Bladenfeld.
Flying right along. No wings on the Hydra. Huh?
Do that.
It's supposed to be a 3-headed Hydra with no wings. That was the request.
Okay.
So it's not supposed to have wings.
Yes, no wings.
So it should
I-
feel a wingless 3-headed Hydra rampant orb.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Which means you're gonna have to do a new petition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hurt you, Lucy. Okay.
Hey, if the petition said fearless a 3-headed Hydra rampant ore,
Right.
then it's not what you're submitting.
Well, if the petition they signed had this image attached to it, it doesn't matter because they're approving this image and not the words.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Did it have the picture attached?
I will tell you.
It should to be a valid petition.
Petition, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
You're going to have to do a new
submit with
petition, Thorfina.
I have to submit a new
No, no image on it.
Crap.
Oh, the reason I didn't put an image on the petition because there was something in the petition itself that said that I wouldn't have to. If something, let me see if I can't find this. It should be
Oh,
in my work.
If you have provided a blazon, a drawing is.
If you have provided a blazon, a drawing of the device is optional but recommended.
Yeah, that's what I was. I'll get a new petition. Yeah, my Baron and Baroness should be at weekend.
Uh-oh, she's having some
Tuesday.
issues. There we go.
Yeah.
Taryn says hi to everybody.
Hi, Taryn.
Hi, Taryn.
Hi, Taryn.
Karen.
Everyone says hi to Taryn. All right, so aside from the making sure that the Hydra is blazoned as fieldless, not fieldless, but wingless, Do we have any conflict issues?
No.
Ancient Greek hydras did not have wings, so this is correct for what they're going for.
There you go.
Well, good.
So do we do a hydra the way we do a sphinx and specify Greek or Egyptian sphinx? This is a Greek hydra? Or is it just?
I don't believe so.
So we would just say a wingless hydra.
Yeah, a wingless hydra.
I was gonna say it should be relatively Greek because our whole baronial reign has been Greek. I mean, all of our awards are Greek, like the Thinatwa and the Nemesis and all
That was
and
actually
things.
Latin.
Thank you. So I guess then the question comes down: if we're gonna go with Greek hydra and not needing a petition, or if we're gonna get like that, am I gonna need a new petition?
You're either breaking up or I don't understand the nature of your question.
I might be breaking up, and I apologize.
She's been breaking up. So are you asking if you're going to have, if you have a new petition, if you need to put a particular blazon on it?
Because Greek hydras don't have wings.
They don't have. I mean, yours can.
But
it's
we
not
don't.
a problem. It's just that
they don't want it.
If they don't want the wings, I mean, it's a paperwork issue. We can have heraldic hydras with or without wings. So it's a question entirely of the barony's preference.
We don't want
without.
Then you need a new. Then.
Sorry, what's the question that we have going on right now?
The petition doesn't have a picture and the words don't specify that there aren't wings, if I understand correctly.
That's
Yes.
what I'm hearing.
The problem lies in your reference picture having wings.
My reference picture
doesn't. The redraw does.
Okay. Because I can't see your forms because they're in the gardens. Is the picture that Gunvor added for a source picture? Is that anywhere in the documentation packet?
No.
No, that's something that he added.
He added it to make it clear because the initial drawing had the arms up near the face, and you couldn't tell that they were claws.
Well, I wouldn't even have known it was a hydra without reading the blazon. So
right.
Yeah, because according to Mistholm, a hydra is a multi-headed dragon,
and dragons have wings.
And well, you can have a wingless hydra.
Well, the redraw is clearly, the claws are clearly claws rather than heads, but the wings need to be removed.
You can have a wingless hydra, but you have to specify that it's a wingless hydra because by default they have wings.
Right.
And because the form doesn't say wingless hydra, the petition, then
But we register the picture, not the words.
Right, but the petition doesn't have the picture.
Exactly.
So they approve the image.
One at a time, guys.
Really.
If they approve the image, it doesn't matter what the words on the form are.
But the form has no image, therefore it won't match when the paperwork goes farther north.
Correct.
Actually, because this is a badge, the petition won't go with it because you don't need it.
That's the
You
point.
don't need a petition at society for a badge.
Well, yeah, good
Only-
point.
It's
Good
only
point.
for kingdom.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jude.
So-
Thank you, Lucian.
Because the society only requires petitions for branch names and branch arms.
Okay.
They don't require it for badges. So they're not going to care what the petition says.
Right.
So
Alright.
unless
So we
King,
need a
So
redraw
let's-
of the redraw without wings.
probably wouldn't
And make the
hurt.
heads bigger.
Yeah.
Probably
I
wouldn't
think
hurt.
that's bigger.
But unless the kingdom for their own files needs a new petition, there doesn't seem to be any real need for it further up.
We would not need a new petition.
Okay.
No, I don't think that's necessary.
They already approved. They approved this badge as long as something identifiable as this badge makes it out of kingdom. It's good.
And putting in the reblazon of a wingless Hydra?
A wingless Hydra.
Yeah.
If that's what's going to help it, then go on.
Yeah, and the redraw, if you take the wings off and make the heads a little bigger, should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should be.
Because the original drawing is not rampant.
Mm-mm.
But the redraw is, so all you'd have to do is
Yeah.
nip the wings off of it and make the heads maybe a little bit larger and we'd be good to go.
So are we? My question still remains: are we going to run into issues with those not being dragon heads?
Ooh. Now they sort of look like griffin heads, don't
I
they?
realize that we are using the John Boswell image here.
As long as you send it up with that,
Okay.
I think it would be fine.
It would be an illustration of in that period this sort of head was used on it.
Yeah, in an armory source in period. So I mean,
Dragons get drawn a lot of different ways.
yeah.
Yeah. So send it up with a redraw.
All right. Once I get a redraw, Finna, I'll go ahead and when I get a redraw, I'll send it to you. If you could get the Baron and Baroness to approve it, because we would need approval of a redraw before I can send it up.
I can do that. If you can get that to me ASAP, I'll send it to him on
Yeah,
Facebook.
I'll send it to you as soon as I get it.
Thank you.
I'll do the redraw tomorrow if you'd like.
Okay.
All right. Yes, the sooner the better, please.
And I actually heard if you could just send it directly to her and just CC me on it.
Yes, please. Please and thank you, because I think His Excellency might be getting ready to head out of town again after MGT.
He is currently in New Providence, Rhode Island.
He's doing a lot of traveling lately.
Well, if you can't get a hold of the Baron, maybe pass it by the Seneschal.
I think I could get at least the Baroness. She's been in
That
town.
works.
That should work.
They got a little
As long
one.
as somebody signs off on it.
Okay.
Isn't she the boss down there anyway?
Yeah,
Of
technically.
course.
Yes, technically, because wasn't she given the title Baroness first?
It doesn't matter. The woman is always in charge.
But that in Gladenfeld's case, they were deliberately putting her as the primary and him as the secondary. That was how the original nominations were done and how it was sent through the entire thing.
Awesome.
The magic
Okay.
phrase is, yes, dear.
All right. So,
Okay.
When he's smart, that's exactly what he does.
so once we get a redraw, we will send that one up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Moving along to number 6. Heather Ingen O'Brien, resub device. Per bend, wavy, sinister, per pure and bendy waves.
Yeah, we got a reblazing down there.
All right. Well, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump down to Michael Girard's reblazing. Per bendy wavy sinister, per pure and bendy wavy sinister, argent and azure. In chief in bend sinister, 2 natural dolphins in bowed respect in argent.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
Yes.
Better than the other one.
Uh-huh.
Well,
They are very happy dolphins, however.
Yes.
They are quite happy dolphins. Yes.
All right, Bronwyn, give them the total count.
I think it was something like 54, wasn't it, Christy?
Yeah, I think
I
this
believe
is
it
number
was.
54.
Well, we were up in the 50s on the redraws anyway on this one.
Wow.
Great.
Well, she submitted a device that was returned, and instead of trying to appeal it, she designed a new one, and we were up in the 30s on that one, sent it in, and then before it was commented on last month, or a month before, I guess it was, she withdrew it and decided she wanted to change it again. So then we went back to the drawing board, literally, and this is, I think it was number 54. So please tell me this is okay.
Please.
I've seen dolphins. I've seen dolphins in my sleep.
Well, aside from being a little busy, I don't see any issues with it.
Well, it's only busy from the length of the emblazon. It's actually a fairly simple motif.
Yes, it is.
And I mean, everything is oriented bendwise sinister. So
it's a little bit like a Russian novelist's description of winter.
That happens.
Alexander is not wrong.
In Russian, you have what, 50-some words for snow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
That's because that's all they've got is snow.
All right, so I didn't find any conflicts with this. Bronwyn didn't find any conflicts. Anybody else have any luck checking?
Nope.
Yeah, I found a conflict. Kick it back.
Then what is it?
We really are going to hurt
you and let Bronwyn kick you.
Yes.
He has to do penance, Bronwyn.
Yes, I agree.
I do not.
I'm sure the rest of us can come up with something suitable.
Where's my ruler?
It's got 2 steps from period practice.
Actually, we have a comment from YouTube that says, "Thanks for all the fish."
Yay!
Huzzah. Okay.
Okay.
No,
Somebody had to say it.
Excuse me, but these are natural dolphins. They are not fish.
That's true. They are natural dolphins.
But
No, they're not.
They are rather fond of fish.
yes.
Okay.
So we need to add natural dolphins into the blaze, and that he already did that.
Yeah, it's in there.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll all have breakfast at Millie Way's, and we'll talk about it then.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. The full phrase.
But
Thanks for all the fish.
in deference to Bronwyn's sanity, I think we should just.
Well, Chris Young's too. I mean, she's the one that was. She's the primary consultant on this one.
So we are going to send that one up.
Yay!
Okay. What are the 2 possible steps from period practice on that one? Karen and I are missing it.
I was kidding.
He was kidding.
He was just being ugly.
He was being, you know. Lucian? I've got
Please disregard the troll in the middle of the lineup.
Yes.
There's probably one for the dolphins being crammed up in the teeth and the arrangement, but
it's the smiley faces on the dolphins that has to be if they're too cheerful.
yes.
So we can make a few. We can make a few steps if we want.
Not happy.
Okay, can we move on to number 7 now?
Yes. Moving on to number 7, Margaret Northwood.
Mm-hmm.
New household name and new badge. Starting off with the name, House Red Shoe. It needs to be House of the Red Shoe because that is the proper household name construction.
Or Red Shoe House.
Or Red Shoe House.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, but she said no changes.
Has anybody asked her?
Hang on, I'll get her.
She happens to be local for us.
Well, I know, but
Mm-hmm.
I can text her daughter.
Well, I can get her on Messenger.
Well, so can I. Because she's like never off of Facebook anyway.
Unless she's sleeping.
Which she does do from time to time.
Yes, she does.
However, her associate who did the paperwork for this is online right now and can tell me.
Aha!
Way to go.
Well, not technically, because it has to be the referrer, not the referrer's associate.
Word.
So while we are figuring that out, let's go ahead and move on to the badge.
I mean, those stinking badges.
All the badges, all the time.
Fieldless, a ghillie shoe pale-wise, and profile ghouls.
It's a little trian, but I don't know if it's enough of a problem. It looks like it's identifiably trian, but not trian.
It doesn't look pale-wise either.
It is not. It's
It
Bendwise.
definitely looks more Bendwise Sinister than
Yeah.
But not quite. It needs to be scooched.
When they ran the original artwork by me, that was the best I could come up with.
Yeah, it needs scooching.
And it needs to be tilted a little bit, either about 22 degrees counterclockwise into palewise, or 22 degrees counterclockwise into Bendwise Sinister.
Okay, she wants that picture. So
she wants it palewise then.
No, she wants that picture. So however we have to blazon that to make that picture go.
It's closer to Bendwise Sinister than to Palewise.
It is closer to Bendwise Sinister, so so I will
An
take,
artist note might well suffice on that to just tell them that they need to tilt the shoe at 22 degrees clockwise.
I don't know. Laurel has returned a number of them because they were between two different postures.
Uh-huh.
So this is going to be, this is probably going to come back as neither fish nor fowl and being told to pick one, because it's not like it's a scooch off of Palewise or a scooch off of Bendwise. It is halfway between both of them. So you can't determine which one.
Well, to me, visually, it's not halfway. It's more toward the Bendwise Sinister, but if we need to tilt it a little bit more.
It does look a little more Bendwise.
Bendwise Sinister only at the heel. The toe is more Palewise.
Yeah.
So this one is changed because it's not a straight line. It's a shoe, and it's a bent shoe. It actually changes its orientation. It needs to kind of shift one way or the other so it'll work.
If you actually put your hand over it half up or half down, your visual impression of it will change. It's because of the way the shoe is shaped.
Hey, Ian.
Yes.
She wants House of the Red Shoe.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, a couple of months ago.
Well, it should be a really easy redraw to tilt the shoe a little bit more one way or another, but she would have to okay it.
Does she want House of the Palewise Red Shoe or House of the Bendwise Red Shoe?
Lucian.
A couple months ago, there was a device returned. I recall reading, and it was a maintained device at that, or it was a maintained charge that was in an Bendwise, and it was returned just because of a maintain charge. So
So we may have to redraw it.
Hey, I've got a reference coming in. I'm being heraldy, but I'm stealing somebody's thunder.
Hey, that's what heralds are all about. So
No,
No, it
it's
isn't.
not stealing other people's thunder.
Oh, for God's sake!
it's about having their own thunder,
Hold on a second. I need to get off my
or
VPN.
in this case, their own thunder bunny.
Oh,
What?
We haven't gotten to that yet.
No. Anyway,
oh, they're making fun of me.
Or Laurel has it.
we're supposed to be neutral.
Like Switzerland.
You can be neutral and have an opinion.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
As long as your opinion is neutral.
Sorry, Spark.
Okay, would she have a problem with tilting it just a little bit further
I'm
clockwise?
asking her.
Somebody look up the badge that I just pasted in the chat.
It hasn't come over, Alexander.
No, I haven't seen it yet,
Okay.
Alexander.
Look at the group chat.
I'm looking.
We
I'm
are
looking.
looking at the group chat. It's not.
Okay, it's got to be on here somewhere.
In the meantime,
Oh,
I've
Leora. Got it.
She's got a red boot.
yes.
Yes, but it
Really
is.
flowers, so these could be cousins. But it is really Benoit.
I remember that coming through because that came through while I was Cypher,
Yep.
and it was distinctly, if
Up.
memory serves, it was distinctly Bendwise.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was heel
Karen's,
down, toe up, and the shaft of the boot was bend. Definitely.
I'm not seeing that particular thing on this link. Still looking.
It's the boot. The boot on hers is distinctly at that Bendwise sinister angle.
Yeah, you can tell that thing's on this is Bendwise.
Yes.
Mhm.
This one, not so much.
Yeah.
Yes, it would need to be rotated one way or the other.
Right. She's waiting to hear from the submitter.
Her dot turned off, so
Well, at least we got the name right.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yay, us!
Let's see. We can move. We can move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm poking her significant other to get her to check her messages again.
All right. So we will.
Hold this for a moment.
We're gonna pen this badge for the moment, so we can figure out whether or not she wants to, how she wants to fix it.
The orientation of the shoe.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, household name with the change goes up. Badge is still in limbo.
Yes.
Okay.
Moving on to number 8. Nikolai Dragomir. New name and new device. Starting off with the name.
I don't see any problem with the name, honestly.
Mhm.
It's the sound he's after. What you call it, not that important.
All right. Yeah, he's looking for authenticity for Romanian, but Michael Gerard said, no, wait a minute, not Michael Gerard.
Pantheon.
Lily said that she wasn't sure it was Romanian, but it's authentically Slavic.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the sound is most important, so.
Yes.
Both appear in Romanian sources. There's some question as to where they may have originated originally, but they do both appear in Romanian sources.
And we should be fine.
All right.
Well, I would just put a note on it and say, commenters couldn't decide if it was authentically Romanian, so we're sending it up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go ahead and shortcut you on the device. Go ahead and mark it for return, and I'll get with Chuck and see what he wants to do for changes.
Yeah, it's definitely a conflict, unfortunately.
Yep. So let's go ahead and just read it in. For Saltier, ghouls and sable, a dragon within a Bordur embattled ore, and it conflicts with Azure Scaly Argent, a dragon Sagrient, a Bordur embattled ore. So we have 1 BC for the field and nothing else.
Right.
And it's kind of sad. It is a really nice device.
If he changed the tincture of either the dragon or the Bordur, that would add another DC, but we'd have to recheck it, of course.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So name goes up. Device gets returned for conflict. Moving along to number 9.
Going back to the ghillie shoe.
Going back to the ghillie shoe, number 7. Okay.
She wants it bendwise.
She wants it bendwise, so we will rotate it slightly.
Wait, Benwise.
Yes.
Benwise
Sinister. Okay.
Yep. So putting the toe more towards the corner.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That should be easy enough.
Yep. That'll be a nice, pretty badge, too.
Yeah, nice and simple.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yay!
Okay.
So moving along to number 9. College of Phoenix Rising. Resub it is an appeal of the Kingdom Return of the branch name. And I believe we have the herald in charge of this appeal.
Sort of.
Just maybe.
This is not the package I gave them. I'm not sure where this came from. Includes some pieces of the package I gave them, but not the resub on the arms, which were also returned. So I don't know.
Wasn't the package we're looking for, huh?
You at Rum. From my conversation with you at Rum, the package that we initially got was also an incomplete packet that you had given them.
Yep.
Yep.
There is something of an issue. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but it'll have to be handled locally.
Okay. So Frida dumped a whole bunch of documentation here.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
As she does.
Frida, and she's awesome.
Yes, because Frida, we love her.
Well, if rising is a designation of a place as opposed to a term meaning that the phoenix is rising up,
right,
it makes a world of difference in
Well, we found that there are 2 examples. There's Castle Rising and Wood Rising.
right.
Both are listed in the Doomsday Book back into the middle of the 1300s. One may go as far as the 1100s.
Mm-hmm.
The issue of putting a phoenix on it, well, that's a fairly standard pattern. We think we can make that fly. However, her alternate suggestion for Phoenix Rise is also a possible working solution, too. I'm working with what they had started using long before I ever got involved.
Gotcha.
Well, yes.
And am I the only one who can't see what number 1 is?
Number 1.
I also cannot see number 1.
Okay.
That's
What,
'cause
number
it's got
1 on the
orders.
letter?
Read error. Yeah.
No, I can see it.
It's got an image error. It's got a sizing problem.
Gotcha.
No, okay. No, I can't see it either.
Okay.
So, the only issue with the Phoenix Rising is
Spelling?
you don't have the documented examples are castle and wood. Phoenix is a
mythical creature, not a place. No.
Right.
yes.
But rising means place of the people of the heather is one of the earlier translations. So what you're saying is the phoenix rose in this place. I got issues with it too, but it's what they wanted to do.
Unless you
buying
could document Phoenix as a name.
Well, the issue I'm going to raise here is that all of this hemming and hawing may be moot because it's an appeal, so I have to send it up.
Right.
We're just trying to compile commentary to say the commenters agree with his appeal or disagree with his appeal.
Correct.
This is why.
Right.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Like I say, I have no idea what happened to the device side.
But since this is an appeal of the original name, why are we documenting other forms like Phoenix Rise? They don't want Phoenix Rise. They want an appeal of this name.
Possibly because
they can resubmit it as resubmit it as Phoenix Rise, but they're not resubmitting the name. They're appealing it.
Right.
Point taken.
Go ahead, send it on. When it comes back in flames, I'll work at it from there.
You're a brave man.
You know, the thing about a phoenix is it has to be born before it can die and be reborn.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that may be fitting for this, you know.
Right. Exactly.
So do you happen to have any additional documentation for this that didn't make it into this packet?
We had quite a bit. I'm not sure where it all went. I'll have to recover it from my storage files.
If you can find it and send it to me, I can include it.
Okay.
The more the better, I guess.
Yeah. Because we have to give it the old college try.
And in the meantime, I'll tell you what, if you want to pend it on that and let me see if I can find out what happened to the device side of the application, because it should have been in there too.
Okay.
Do we want to pen this or send it up based on what we've got? Because with this being an appeal, we don't want to make it look like we're delaying on that.
No,
Right.
So
Because
yeah,
we could send up we could send up the name, the appeal of the name, and once the device information is found, the device could be submitted later.
Well, if we send up the device with it, it's kind of, they won't give a holding name to a group.
Right.
Right. So if the name gets kicked back,
So would the
then
device.
the device will get kicked back too.
Right.
But they'll have to wait another month because
yeah.
And this is an
it's
appeal.
better to send it. It's better to send it all up at the same time.
Okay.
I may be wrong, but I think that the device got returned because the name got returned.
Correct.
I don't think there was any issue with the device.
As last I checked, there weren't.
Okay.
And I think that's what the letter of return said, was that we can't create a holding name, therefore we have to return the device.
Right.
So there's no reason to appeal the device return. You just need to resub it.
Right. And it was all together in one package, in one envelope, last I handed it off. Where it
Okay.
went after that, not too sure.
Okay.
It's gone wherever socks in the dryer go.
So we will
A lot up here.
we will go ahead and advance this.
All right.
If you can get me, if you can find the additional documentation before the end of the month and get it to me, I will include it,
Okay.
and then we'll just see how it goes from there.
I've got a suspicion. I know exactly how it's going to go, but that's fine.
You mean not the way Phoenixes usually do?
Half of it, yeah.
Look down and doing part.
They're going to go down in ghouls and ore all over the place.
Uh-huh.
Look, Sable.
All right. So moving along to number 10. Last item on the letter.
Okay.
Thorolf Ragnarsson. New name and new device.
This is our second white animals in a circle.
Right.
That would be because they are married.
Yes.
Oh.
Let's start off with the name, please.
That
I
before.
forgot the R. I'm sorry.
We'll get to the arms. We'll get to the device. Let's start with the name, please.
Okay. I felt it was a little bit close to Thorwolf Ragnarsson. I'm not sure it's too close, but it is very close. But he did allow adding a by name if we felt it was. So we could send it up as it is, but say if it's too close, if these are too close, he's willing to add Bitra.
Okay. And I see that in the docs here. So
Right. So that would take care of it either way.
okay.
And the given name should contain the R. That was a misspelling on my part.
So THOROLFR.
Oh, so we need a terminal R.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what is actually documented from Gearbassi.
Yes.
So that would remove any confusion.
Okay. And so now we will move along to the device.
Can I ask a question as we go on with this?
Sure.
If both of these are registerable, would the fact that it's just bears versus wolves be sufficient to allow them both to be registered?
Change the
Yes.
type of primary charge.
It's a
There's
significant
a
change.
there's an SC between wolves and bears.
Okay, so the answer is yes, because three of you answered at the same time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. But there was a conflict found. Ian, I have already talked to the submitter and sent you a replacement.
Yes, I have received those images. We
Yay.
have added a border to it.
Yes, I know. I tried other options, but he wanted it to look as much like hers as possible.
Okay.
I told them about the relationships and heraldry thing, and they really didn't care.
That's okay.
I just want y'all to know I did tell them.
That's all right. Marrying cousins is completely period.
All right. So by adding the border, we clear a conflict with Tiki Azure North, 3 Mastiffs, Cornet, and Annulo Argent.
Correct.
Each gorge of a Cornet ghouls, because we don't get a DC for removing the Cornets. We get 1 DC for changing the field. And all canines conflict with one another.
Mhm. I have not had a chance to conflict check the changes, but I'd kind of be surprised for the same reason the bears didn't conflict.
will check this right quick.
Oh, that's why I couldn't find it.
And none of the devices that came up with a score of 3 conflict with it once you add the border to it. So
Excellent.
Well, looks, I'm not finding anything either.
So we will use the redrawn device, and we will send it up.
Yay!
Excellent.
All right. So, and that brings us to the end of our letter.
Yay!
So, thank you very much, everybody.
There was much rejoicing.
Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us tonight. Our October meeting will be tentatively scheduled for Tuesday, October 23rd at 8 Eastern, 7 Central.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
So thank you again, everybody, for showing up and commenting tonight and helping this decision meeting go out. And thank you for everyone else on the internet watching us on YouTube.
We got 5 people out there now.
5 people.
Expanding our fan base.
You're the real MVPs.
They're all here for me.
We're going to switch
Be
over to
sure to
monetize
like
this stuff
us
and
on
I'll be
Facebook.
rich.
Yeah.
So until next month, good night.
Night.
Everybody.